Assalamu alaikum. I hope so you guys are doing well. So today the topic that I'm going to discuss with you people is about the cranial nerves. I've already discussed this many times in my previous videos, but this time I'm more concerned about the functions of these cranial nerves. So we have total of 12 cranial nerves: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Each nerve has basically a function, which is that olfactory nerve is involved for smell. So it is going to be helping you for sensing different sort of pleasant smells or any bad odor, etc. And it is the only cranial nerve without thalamic relate to cortex. Just remember it. Okay, then optic is for sight, very easy, and oculomotor is for eye movement. Okay, so there are three cranial nerves which are important for eye movement, which is oculomotor, then we have trochlear, and then we have abducent. Okay, and we have like three. So but the muscles involved are different. So okay, so eye movement for oculomotor is by superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, and inferior oblique. So it's difficult to remember these names, so I'll make it easy for you. You can remember it by SO4 LR6. This is one and this is another one. So SO4 means superior oblique by fourth cranial nerve, lateral rectus by sixth cranial nerve. So if you are going to just memorize these two, the rest of the muscles are going to be supplied by the oculomotor nerve. So SO4 superior oblique by trochlear, lateral rectus by abducent. So these were the eye movements. Okay, the other functions of the oculomotor is that it is involved in pupillary constriction, then accommodation, and eyelid opening. So your eyelid opening, very important, is by oculomotor, and when your pupils are being constricted, it is by the help of this oculomotor. So if it is damaged, this nerve gets damaged, then your pupils will be dilated, they cannot be constricted. Then, okay, trochlear I've already discussed. Then trigeminal. Trigeminal has three branches of thalamic, maxillary, and mandibular. So this means that it is involved in mastication and your facial sensations, and also the sensations from the anterior two-third of tongue. Just remember it, there is a difference between somatosensation and taste. Okay, and the other function is that it is also involved in dampening of loud noises with the help of tensor tympani muscle. So the next one is the abducent, which is also for the eye movement, as I've already discussed. Lateral rectus muscle. Okay, facial, the seventh cranial nerve is, as the word facial, it's related to face, it means something related to face. So it is involved in facial movement, eye closing. There's a difference between eyelid opening and eye closing. Okay, in this the eyelid is being involved and here the eye. Okay, so whenever someone asks you, eyelid opening is by levator palpebrae. Which nerve is involved? Oculomotor nerve is involved. And which muscle is involved for eye closing? This means orbicularis oculi. So if the orbicularis oculi or this facial nerve gets damaged, you cannot close your eyes. So they are going to stay the same way, the open, they are going to stay open. Okay, the auditory volume modulation. Then taste from anterior two-third of tongue. So two-third of taste of your tongue is by facial. This means, which is also by the chorda tympani muscle. Okay, two-third of tongue by facial. Then posterior one-third by glossopharyngeal. Just remember this very high yield question. Okay, then facial is involved for lacrimation, and salivation. And for salivation, submandibular and sublingual glands are innervated by cranial nerve 7. So whenever you see something tasty, then this facial nerve is being involved. The saliva is going to be produced more and more as you are seeing some burgers or very tasty foods. Then vestibulocochlear by your eighth nerve for hearing and balance, because cochlea is in ear, right? And so this means that it is something related to hearing and balance. Then glossopharyngeal, the posterior one third taste is by this nerve. Swallowing, salivation. Okay. In the facial, the salivation was by submandibular and sublingual, but parotid glands are innervated by glossopharyngeal. Remember it, okay? Submandibular and sublingual by facial, but parotid by glossopharyngeal. Monitoring carotid body and sinus, chemo, and baroreceptors, your blood pressure is being controlled by this nerve, and elevation of pharynx and larynx, which is stylopharyngeus muscle. Then we have vagus. Vagus is a 10th cranial nerve, and it is okay. So facial and glossopharyngeal was sensing the taste from your tongue, but vagus senses the taste from the supraglottic region. So when your food actually goes and touches the supraglottic region, it is, you are also going to have some taste there, because vagus is involved in some sort of taste sensations as well. For swallowing, for soft palate elevation, midline uvula, talking, cough reflex, parasympathetic supraco-abdominal viscera, monitoring aortic arch, chemo, and baroreceptors. So this is also involved in monitoring your blood pressure. Then accessory for head turning and shoulder shrugging, which is shoulder shrugging, very important question, that sternocleidomastoid muscle and trapezius muscle are basically involved when you shrug your shoulders. Then hypoglossal for tongue movement, which is a 12th cranial nerve, very important. Okay, so now how would I know that these 12 nerves are sensory or motor, or they have both functions? So always remember that some say marry money, but my brother says big brains matter most. So S for sensory, and M for motor, and B for both. So it was really simple, but it is a very important topic, and I think it's some sort of a memorization topic. So do memorize it very well by repeating it many times. Well, I hope you guys have understood this lecture, and if you have, then do recommend my channel to your other colleagues, and do subscribe and comment.